Let's talk about National Black Farmers. We've talked about the plight that they have been, the fight they've been involved in with the federal government when it comes to getting COVID relief money. Now, the National Black Farmers Association president is calling out PepsiCo over what he calls empty promises. John Boyd says the company has been all talk and has not issued any contracts to black farmers after vowing to increase the number of contracts awarded last year. He joins us now from Virginia. John, glad to have you on the show. So exactly what's the issue that you have with PepsiCo? What's going on?
Well, the issue, Roland, thank you for having me. The issue's been going on for a very, very long time. We've been challenging PepsiCo to do business with black farmers, where we helped raise the issue about Aunt Jemima Pancake to face this on the box. They changed the picture on the box, but they didn't change the way that they do business. They aren't doing any contracts in the form of potatoes or corn, two things that every black farmer in this country can grow. I don't know a black farmer that can't grow a potato and an ear of corn. And they refuse to do any contracts after leading us on for a year and a half. We met all of the criteria to grow the potatoes and corn, soil and contents and things of this nature. All of these things we can do, and we proved that to the company PepsiCo. And after we'd done that, we crossed all the hurdles. At the 99th hour, when we were ready to move forward with contracts, the company says, "Oh, well, now we're going in a different direction, and we don't think that we're going to be contracting with black farmers." There's only two directions to go in here: black, which they don't have any black growers, or you continue to do more business with white farmers. All of their farmers' contracts are rolling are white men, white male farmers. And it's time to change that. You know, they say these things and they put out these great diversity statements on how they're going to include blacks that never trickle down to the actual people who's supposed to be doing and benefiting from these contracts.
So we reach out to PepsiCo with regards to the press release that you issued earlier. This is what they just sent us. It is incorrect to equate our decision not to pursue a further relationship with John Boyd with a lack of interest in working with the farmers of the National Black Farmers Association or black growers in general. Unfortunately, despite our repeated requests made of John Boyd, we were unable to meet with NBFA members and were not given the opportunity to assess their operational capabilities. As part of our racial equality journey, PepsiCo remains committed to increasing black representation in the agricultural supply chain and working with black growers on efficiency, productivity, and sustainability. We are proud that over the past 2 years, we have increased our spend with black suppliers by more than $150 million, including a significant increase in our spend with black-owned farms. We're also proud to serve on the corporate advisory board of the National Black Growers Council, working to further increase our spend with black growers and remove systemic barriers for their operations. Now, let's address the first item here. When they say we were unable to meet with NBFA members and were not given the opportunity to assess their operational capabilities, how do you respond to that?
That's definitely not true, Roland. And they wanted us to give us intricate details about our membership list, where we invited PepsiCo to come out to our conference and to be a speaker at our conference, and neither one happened. They're the ones who haven't been responsive. As a matter of fact, they haven't been responsive for years. And, you know, that's what these Fortune 500 companies do when leaders like myself call them out. When we called out John Deere, they'll run and find a softer black face that will say nice things about the company. But in all reality, John Deere doesn't treat us any better than it did before. And PepsiCo comes out with a similar statement that John Deere just did. And all reality, Roland, we still don't have any contracts. After we met all of the criteria from soil samples, their specialists came out and said, hey, we should be doing business with you guys. And then they retract and say, you know, we want to go in a different direction. That's what these companies do. And they need to be held accountable in the black community, and other black leaders should be accountable for their actions when they let these companies off the hook and they don't provide any real substantive contracts and things that benefit, in this case, the black farmers community across the board.
So okay, and so in terms of in terms of assessing operational capabilities, when you say they wanted the list, and so did y'all ever sit down and meet? Did NBFA ever lay out these are our this is what our members are, this is our capability,
Absolutely.
so were these in-person meetings? Were they Zoom meetings due to COVID? And how often did y'all meet?
Yes, and great questions. These are all Zoom calls, and the person that was at the table was Keith something at PepsiCo, who was supposed to be the buyer for potatoes and corn. And for the people that are watching, this isn't something new. These talks have been going on for a year and a half, and now all of a sudden they say they're on somebody else's board and they're going to try to do something with other people. Roland, that's what these companies do to blacks and black leaders in this country. It's called divide and conquer. And this is one time I'm not going to sit back and not say anything. It's not right when people sell you out and not get subsistence contracts and things for black farmers in this case. They're in John Deere and in this case, PepsiCo. I'm not letting these companies off the hook. We met all the criteria. And like I said earlier, I don't know a black farmer in this country that can't grow a potato if he was provided a contract and can't grow an ear of corn if we were provided a contract. The issue here is PepsiCo hasn't granted us any contracts. They can do the same thing that they're doing with white farmers. I don't need a different contract than what they got. Give us the same opportunity to provide those goods and deliver on time and give us the opportunity to fail here. And we were never able given that opportunity. And that's what these companies do to blacks in this country. Divide and conquer and wait us out. They waited till the Aunt Jemima thing calmed down, and then all of a sudden we want to go in another direction, or we're going to try to do something to work with some other people. And I'm here today to say on your show, Roland, because you've been a leader on these issues, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's time to draw the line in the sand with corporate America, and it's time for them to deliver on blacks and stop pimping us out here, because that's what they're doing.
What is, just for people, I mean, I got people in our chat rooms, they're asking this question as well, and I got a question, I'm sure each of our panelists has a question. What is the National Black Growers Council? What is that?
Some group they probably came up with. It was helped to formulate with John Deere's when they really came out and said that they were going to support and work with a core group at John Deere. And the person who's head of that is a African American male, Mark House, an executive with John Deere, who helped put the group together. And that's what they do, Roland, to try to go around when we put pressure where John Deere wasn't servicing black farmers, servicing white farmers, and getting to black farmers at middle of our harvest when they got good and ready. And I called them out on it, and they went and found some black faces to say, "Hey, John Deere is good." In all reality, John Deere still isn't servicing black farmers, and the way that we're greeted at these local racist dealers isn't any better than it was when I bought the issue out on your show, Roland, a few years ago. And PepsiCo is probably doing the same thing. That's what these corporate people do. They use fancy lines such as, "We're going to move in another direction." That's a favorite line of corporate America, which simply say, "We're not going to do any business with you." And Black America needs to hold them accountable. How many cans of Pepsi does blacks drink in this country? But we can't get a damn contract with them. And they're sitting there trying to tell me that something's right with that. And it's not. We can meet the demand. We can meet the capabilities. We can deliver, and we can grow a damn tater, like we say in the country, and I can grow an ear of corn. And PepsiCo is full of it on that statement.
Any questions from our panel? Matt?
Yes.
Michael?
I have a question.
Okay, Matt, I'm start with you. Go.
Good evening, Brother Boyd. I have a quick question for you. Did your members do things like consultants or experts to determine, what they would be able to do in terms of output? Like, what costs did your members incur based on the verbal agreement that Pepsi had that they were going to give y'all contracts?
Well, first of all, we used their people. It was their experts who came out and tested the soil and said that, we meted the criteria. So it was their experts who said we met all the demands. And after we met the demands, I really pushed them to execute the contract. And they said, well, we're not going to do it this year. We're going to do it probably the first of this year, which would have been January. And we was going to start on a smaller scale and build from there. And when I got on the Zoom call, that's what I was looking for, the details on how to move forward with the contract. And all of these executives are on the Zoom call with me saying that PepsiCo would not be moving forward with black farmers, that they were going in a new direction. And that's when I asked them, what direction is it? When all of your contracts, I want to be real clear on this show, all of their contracts for all of the years with PepsiCo have been with white male farmers. Not a black farmer in this country has supplied a potato or an ear of corn to PepsiCo, and I think it's unacceptable that we let them, slide on this type of thing. And we buying their products, Frito-Lays, potato chips, and Pepsi can and Pepsi 2-liter drinks. I think PepsiCo can do a lot better.
Kelly?
Sure. So granted, PepsiCo is, like you just alluded to, an enormous conglomerate of goods, from chips to foods, everything. But that being said, if they're not supporting Black business, obviously it's going to be hard to boycott Pepsi. You can. I'm not going to, discredit that. But in the interim, who can we support that will support you? Are there any other PepsiCo equivalents that are either Black owned or Black encouraging, not encouraging, but, endorsing, in terms of buying Black, supporting Black business, et cetera? Like, are there companies out there that you already work with that we can support that in turn will support you?
Del Monte has been good to the National Black Farmers Association, and we're beginning to do some form of contracts with Del Monte. But Roland, I did leave out as well that I'm looking to meet with the president of PepsiCo. I would like to sit down with him to get a more clearer direction of where they said there's new direction that they're going in. What is it? What does it include? And why we left out, I think, is what I would like to meet with the president about. And if there are any Blacks that that have significant shares of PepsiCo, reach out to them and let them know that none of their business or contracts or potatoes or ear corn has went out to a Black farmer in this country. And if they're shareholders, they'll weigh in at the shareholders meeting as to why we can't be a part of this company. That's the old reality. Corporate 500 in this country has to start doing business with Blacks in the form of contracts for other small Black businesses, whether it's Black farmers. These companies are getting away with not doing business with us, but we continue to be consumers and buy their products hand over fist every day. But we don't demand that they put some resources and commitment back into the Black community.
Well, and that's one of the things that we've been making when it comes to advertising and things along those lines. And I would love for look. Here's the deal: we extended the invitation. I would love for PepsiCo to come on the show to share this. When they say in their statement that they increased their spend with Black suppliers by more than 150 million, including a significant increase in our spend with Black-owned farms. I want to know what's that actual number when you say significant increase. And so I want to know what was the number before, what's the number now. It's the same thing that we asked of General Motors, we asked of McDonald's, we asked of Target, Walmart, all the companies that we were talking about. So when people were saying, hey, we're spending significant, we said, no. What's significant? What's the actual number? And then what's the percentage? So we can then sit in here and do an apples to apples comparison. I would love to do the exact same thing with PepsiCo. Michael, go right ahead.
Brother Boyd, thanks for coming on and giving us this valuable information. In 2020, Pepsi's net revenue was $70 billion in North America, $70 billion. Do you know what percentage of that $70 billion came from African-American consumers, one? And two, are you looking at Back in about 1981, Reverend Jesse Jackson
Yeah.
led a successful economic boycott against Coca-Cola, a nationwide boycott. Are you looking at doing something like that as well?
Well, I tell you, that may be the next steps of looking at a national boycott against PepsiCo. Because what we allow these companies to do is make these statements and put out these huge numbers, and we can't point to the people that are who they say are actually getting the business in the black community. As far as the total number of how much input or what we buy from Pepsi Cola, I'm not sure what that number is, but I certainly have drunk Pepsi before and had a Frito-Lay potato chip. I'm not going to lie to you, but they aren't putting the resources back, not only for black, but for black businesses in this country, and they can do better. And if we band together, I believe this is one time we can hold PepsiCo's feet to the fire. And I'm asking other black leaders, don't be sellouts. Make sure that there's something in it for everyone before we let a company off the hook. Just because they put out a fancy statement doesn't mean I'm going away or others. I'm not going away. Roland can tell you how long we've been at this game, a very, very long time. And thank you, Roland, for continuing to put black news in our living rooms and in our communities and our families so that they know what's going on out here. This type of thing is very, very important. And also, I left out one piece. We can meet the demand as black farmers if we provided a contract, and I think that we can deliver just like any other farmer. So I want to put that piece to rest, that these companies keep alluding to the fact that we can't produce. I've been farming for 39 years, and I've never missed a crop season, whether it was a dry season or a bad season. I just finished harvesting 400 acres of soybeans. I had 300 acres of corn. I'm competing in the top three commodities in this country: corn, wheat, and soybeans. And I can fulfill a potato contract, and I certainly can fill a corn contract for PepsiCo if we were provided that same opportunity as they're providing white farmers in this country.
All right, then, John Boyd, National Black Farmers Association. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
And just for our folks know, again, this right here, the National Black Growers Council, this is their board of directors right here. We'll be reaching out to them. Would love to have them on the show. This is their corporate advisory board. You see Frito-Lay, Farm Credit Bank of Texas. You see Bungie North America, John Deere, Bayer, FMC, Great American Insurance. That's the corporate board members. And again, love to have PepsiCo on here.
Back to that Roland Martin unfiltered video in just one moment.
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Wow, Roland was amazing on that.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't
commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared. You dig?